It was one of those quiet Friday nights when life feels heavier than usual. The kind of night when the city hums with laughter outside, but inside, you just feel alone. That's where Daniel found himself, sitting at the corner of a small-town bar, still in his work shirt, nursing a glass of water because he couldn't afford much else. On the other end of the bar sat a woman in a sleek black dress, her hair perfectly styled, her phone lighting up every few seconds with messages she didn't want to answer. She looked like she had it all: money, beauty, confidence, but her eyes told a different story. They were tired. Lonely. Searching. And somehow, fate sat them side by side that night. Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel name, where real stories remind us that kindness still matters. If you love heartfelt stories about humanity, second chances, and the beauty of unexpected connections, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Every story here is a reminder that one small act of kindness can change everything. Daniel wasn't planning to stay long that night. He had just finished a 10-hour shift at the construction site, his hands rough, his heart heavier than the work he did. He missed his little girl, Emma, who was at home with his neighbor. Since his wife passed away 2 years ago, life had been a long stretch of working, saving, and trying not to break down in front of his daughter. He wasn't there to drink away his pain. He just wanted to be around people, to not feel invisible for once. The woman next to him seemed completely out of place. She wore diamond earrings that caught the dim light, and her purse probably cost more than Daniel's truck. She sighed, glancing at her untouched wine, and for a moment, their eyes met. Daniel gave her a polite nod and smiled. Not the kind of smile that tries to impress, just a simple, human one. The kind that says, "Hey, you're not alone here." She hesitated, then smiled back. "Long day?" he asked softly. "You could say that," she replied, her voice tired but graceful. "What about you?" Daniel chuckled. "Long life." That made her laugh, really laugh, for the first time that night. Her name was Rebecca. She was a CEO of a marketing firm in the city. To everyone else, she was powerful, confident, and unstoppable. But tonight, she was just a woman sitting alone at a bar, trying to remember what it felt like to be seen not as a boss, not as a leader, but as a person. Daniel didn't know who she was. He didn't care. He just talked to her like a friend. They talked about life, about kids, about the weird comfort of cheap diners and late-night drives. Daniel shared stories about Emma, how she drew stars on the walls because she said her daddy worked too much and needed some light in his life. Rebecca listened, smiling, her heart softening with each word. When she finally stood to leave, she said quietly, "You're a good dad, Daniel." He blinked, surprised. "I try to be." She nodded. "That's all that matters." And just like that, she walked out. The next night, Daniel went back to the same bar. Not because he expected to see her again, but because talking to her had reminded him that people still cared, that not everyone in the world was too busy to listen. But to his surprise, there she was, Rebecca, sitting in the same seat, same glass of wine in front of her. She smiled when she saw him. "You again." "Guess I like the company here," he said, sitting down beside her. This time, they talked longer. About dreams. About what they'd lost. About what still kept them going. Rebecca confessed that despite her success, she felt trapped. Every day was meetings, decisions, pressure. "Everyone thinks I'm happy," she said. "But most nights, I just come home to silence." Daniel nodded slowly. "I get that. Silence can be loud sometimes." She looked at him then, not at his worn-out clothes or tired eyes, but at the kindness behind them. The kind that doesn't need to be dressed up to be real. Over the next few weeks, they kept meeting. Sometimes at the bar, sometimes at the park where Daniel took Emma to play. Rebecca adored the little girl instantly. Emma, with her messy pigtails and endless questions, brought laughter to both of them. One afternoon, Rebecca surprised them with ice cream. Emma's eyes lit up as she hugged her. "Daddy, can Miss Rebecca come to my school play?" Rebecca smiled softly. "If your daddy doesn't mind." Daniel hesitated for a second, then nodded. "We'd love that." That night, after Emma went to bed, Daniel asked, "Why do you keep coming back, Rebecca?" She thought for a moment. "Because you remind me what's real. You're not trying to impress anyone. You just care. And that's something I haven't seen in a long time." But not everyone understood their friendship. When Rebecca's co-workers found out she'd been spending time with a construction worker, the whispers started. Her business partner warned her that being seen with someone beneath her could hurt her image. Daniel heard about it too. His friends teased him, saying he was wasting time on a woman who lived in a different world. He almost believed them. One evening, he told Rebecca maybe it was best if they stopped seeing each other. "You've got your life, your business. I don't want to be a problem for you," he said quietly. Rebecca's eyes filled with tears. "Daniel, you're not a problem. You're the only thing in my life that doesn't feel like business." He looked at her, unsure what to say. She reached for his hand. "Don't ever think kindness makes you small. It's the only thing that makes any of us truly human." A few weeks later, Emma's school play came. Rebecca showed up early, sitting in the front row with a small bouquet of flowers. She smiled proudly as Emma stood on stage, waving at her dad. When the play ended, Emma ran straight to Rebecca, hugging her tightly. "Did I do good?" Rebecca knelt down, her eyes glistening. "You were amazing." Daniel watched them, his heart full. For the first time in a long time, he felt hope, real, steady hope. After everyone left, Rebecca turned to him. "You know, you've changed me, Daniel. I used to think success was about money, status, power. But now, I think it's about how many hearts you touch along the way." He smiled. "You've changed me too." Months passed. Their friendship grew into something deeper, something built not on attraction, but on respect, care, and kindness. Rebecca started volunteering at the local community center where Daniel sometimes fixed things for free. Together, they helped struggling families, organized food drives, and built a small playground where Emma and other kids could laugh freely. One evening, as the sun set behind them, Rebecca looked around at the happy chaos they'd helped create. "You know," she said, "I used to believe the world was too cold to change. But maybe all it takes is one person willing to be kind first." Daniel nodded. "Kindness doesn't cost much. But it sure makes people rich in ways that matter." She smiled, taking his hand. "You've made me rich, Daniel." Months later, their story became something of a local legend, a single dad and a CEO who met by chance at a bar, and together, reminded an entire town that kindness still has power. Rebecca's company even started a new community program, helping single parents find better jobs. Daniel became part of it, leading workshops, teaching others the same lessons life had taught him the hard way. And every Friday night, they still met at that little bar, not to escape life, but to celebrate it. Rebecca once told Daniel, "You know why I came back that second night?" He smiled. "Why?" "Because your kindness felt like home." The truth is, kindness doesn't care about titles, money, or background. It bridges worlds. It heals hearts. Sometimes, the smallest gesture, a smile, a few kind words, a moment of listening, can change someone's life forever. Daniel's kindness didn't just touch Rebecca, it inspired her to touch others. And that's the beauty of kindness, it multiplies. So, if you're watching this right now, remember this: you never know what someone's going through. Your small act of compassion might just be the light someone desperately needs. Spread kindness. Be the reason someone believes in good people again. Because one simple, genuine moment, like a single dad sitting beside a lonely CEO at a bar, can change everything. Thanks for watching today's story on Your Channel Name. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind us all how powerful kindness can be. Until next time, keep being kind.